and thus physical reality, obscured. To truly study the universe on a deep level, we must acknowledge the fundamental role of consciousness in painting reality. Experiments in quantum mechanics shocked those brilliant fathers of the field, many of whom, Werner Heisenberg, Wolfgang Pauli, Niels Bohr, Erwin Schrödinger, Sir James Jeans, to name a few, turned to the mystical worldview seeking answers. They realized it was impossible to separate the experimenter from the experiment, and to explain reality without consciousness. What I discovered out beyond is the indescribable immensity and complexity of the universe, and that consciousness is the basis of all that exists. I was so totally connected to it that there was often no real differentiation between me and the world I was moving through. If I had to summarize all this, I would say first that the universe is much larger than it appears to be if we only look at its immediately visible parts. This isn't much of a revolutionary insight, actually, as conventional science acknowledges that 96% of the universe is made up of dark matter and energy. What are these dark entities? 70% is dark energy, that most mysterious force discovered by astronomers in the mid-1990s as they found incontrovertible proof based on type 1a supernovas that for the last 5 billion years, the universe has been falling up, that the expansion of all of space is accelerating. Another 26% is dark matter, the anomalous excess gravity revealed over the last few decades in the rotation of galaxies and galactic clusters. Explanations will be made, but the mysteries beyond will never end. No one yet knows, but what made my experience unusual was the jolting immediacy with which I experienced the basic role of consciousness, or spirit. It wasn't theory when I learned this up there, but a fact, overwhelming and immediate as a blast of Arctic air in the face. Second, we, each of us, are intricately, irremovably connected to the larger universe. It is our true home, and thinking that this physical world is all that matters is like shutting oneself up in a small closet and imagining that there is nothing else out beyond it. And third, the crucial power of belief in facilitating mind over matter. I was often bemused as a medical student over the confounding power of the placebo effect, that medical studies had to overcome the 30% or so benefit that was attributed to a patient's believing that he was receiving medicine that would help him, even if it was simply an inert substance. Instead of seeing the underlying power of belief and how it influenced our health, the medical profession saw the glass as half empty, that the placebo effect was an obstacle to the demonstration of a treatment. At the heart of the enigma of quantum mechanics lies the falsehood of our notion of locality in space and time. The rest of the universe, that is, the vast majority of it, isn't actually distant from us in space. Yes, physical space seems real, but it is limited as well. The entire length and height of the physical universe is as nothing to the spiritual realm from which it has risen, the realm of consciousness, which some might refer to as the life force. This other, vastly grander universe isn't far away at all. In fact, it's right here where I am, reading the sentence, and right there where you are, listening. It's not far away physically, but simply exists on a different frequency. It's right here, right now, but we're unaware of it because we are, for the most part, closed to those frequencies on which it manifests. We live in the dimensions of familiar space and time, hemmed in by the peculiar limitations of our sensory organs and by our perceptual scaling within the spectrum from subatomic quantum up through the entire universe. Those dimensions, while they have many things going for them, also shut us out from the other dimensions that exist as well. The ancient Greeks discovered all of this long ago, and I was only discovering for myself what they'd already hit upon. Like understands like. The universe is so constructed that to truly understand any part of its many dimensions and levels, you have to become part of that dimension. Or, stated a little more accurately, you have to open yourself to an identity with that part of the universe that you already possess, but which you may not have been conscious of. The universe has no beginning or end, and God is entirely present within every particle of it. Much, in fact most, of what people have had to say about God and the higher spiritual worlds has involved bringing them down to our level, rather than elevating our perceptions up to theirs. We taint with our insufficient descriptions their truly awesome nature. But though it never began and will never end, the universe does have punctuation marks, the purpose of which is to bring beings into existence and allow them to participate in the glory of God. The Big Bang that created our universe was one of these creative punctuation marks. Om's view was from outside, encompassing all of Om's creation and beyond even my higher dimensional field of view. Here, to see was to know. There was no distinction between experiencing something and my understanding it. I was blind, but now I see. Now took on a new meaning as I understood just how blind to the full nature of the spiritual universe we are on earth, especially people like I had been, who would believe that matter was the core reality, and that all else, thought, consciousness, ideas, emotions, spirit, were simply productions of it. This revelation inspired me greatly because it allowed me to see the staggering heights of communion and understanding that lie ahead for us all, when each of us leaves the limitations of our physical body and brain behind. Humor, irony, pathos. I had always thought these were qualities we humans develop to cope with this so often painful and unfair world. And they are. But in addition to being consolations, these qualities are recognitions, brief, flashing, but all important, of the fact that whatever our struggles and sufferings in the present world are, they can't truly touch the larger, eternal beings that we in truth are. Laughter and irony are at heart reminders that we are not prisoners in this world, but voyagers through it. Another aspect of the good news is that you don't have to almost die to glimpse behind the veil, but you must do the work. Learning about that realm from books and presentations is a start, but at the end of the day, we each have to go deep into our own consciousness through prayer or meditation to access these truths. Meditation comes in many different forms. The most useful for me since my coma has been that developed by Robert A. Monroe, founder of the Monroe Institute in Faber, Virginia. Their freedom from any dogmatic philosophy offers a distinct advantage. The only dogma associated with Monroe's system of meditative exercises is, I am more than my physical body. This simple acknowledgement